Hello, I'm Rob, and coming up on R&B Reviews, I'm going to be reviewing the 1989 Batman movie starring Michael Keaton as Batman and directed by Tim Burton. So I'll have my review for you coming right up. Thank you for checking out Batman in the Movies. It's a segment that I've been doing since The Dark Knight Rises came out. Basically, I've been trying to review all different kinds of Batman movies throughout the years. I started out reviewing the two black and white Batman movies from the 1940s, the movie serials, I should say, and I also recently reviewed the 1966 Adam West Batman movie. Well, now we're moving on forward to Tim Burton's 1989 Batman classic, and it features a lot of firsts. For one thing, it was the first one to go into a more darker direction with conflicted characters, psychotic deadly villains, and a lot more of a backstory to the characters. And right from the beginning, with the look of the film as well as the music, this is definitely not the bright, colorful Batman from the 1960s. No. Gotham City in this movie is more of a dark metropolis. It's crime-ridden, there's corruption everywhere, and it definitely looks like it has seen better days. In a way, it kind of reminded me, it was a mix of like the 1930s with wisecracking reporters and gangsters that do shoot out with the cops, as well as what was then modern technology, or as it's now called, late 1980s technology, with characters running around with stuff like tape recorders. Tim Burton's Batman is done more as a film noir than as an action movie. It features a lot of shadows and a lot of characters backstabbing one another. Now, Batman in this movie is definitely like the protector of the city. He watches it from the buildings from above. And I can see why the Batman costume does look intimidating, and I can see why it puts fears into the criminals in this movie. And interestingly, when the movie begins, Batman is just merely a rumor. Nobody can really prove whether he exists or not. Michael Keaton also plays Bruce Wayne in this movie, and he did a good job at making a socially awkward character out of the Wayne character. He does not seem to know how to entertain people. For example, in one of the movie's few light moments, there's a scene where he invites reporter Vicky Vale over for dinner at his house, and there's basically just a long table, and they're sitting on each end, and they're shouting stuff to each other. That's wonderful there. And Jack Nicholson, of course, is the Joker in this movie, and I thought he made a great egotistical villain as Jack Napier in the beginning of the movie, as well as the insane Joker later on. You could definitely, you just could not guess what his Joker would be doing next. His character was dark and shocking, and he also had very surreal humor about him. I could definitely see his version of the character serving as an influence to the later Joker in Batman the Animated Series. In addition to being a film noir, the movie has a few moments of satire. There's a part in the film when the Joker has put chemicals in facial products, and it gets shipped out to all around Gotham City, and people laugh and die with smiles on their faces. Later on, you see news anchors clearly look like they haven't been using their facial products for a very long time because they have breakouts all over. I enjoyed the movie, but if there's a fault that I had with the movie was, personally, my problem with it was I just felt like Keaton did not make me see why the events of Bruce Wayne's past influenced him to become Batman. I mean, we do see a flashback, but I think Batman the Animated Series and Batman Begins did a better job at showing how this tragic event made him become Batman. But then again, Batman Begins spent a portion of the running time developing that character, and on Batman the Animated Series it was brought up again and again. I just felt like there must have been some way where, in his performance, there got to be some way that this could have, show how this event involving the death of his family affecting him. But Batman, it's not, luckily, as I said, this is not a family-oriented movie like the 1966 film, but it did pay way to having a darker take on the Batman character, as it was following the comic books of this time period. It's not a perfect film, and sometimes I felt more like an observer and not able to get close to the characters like I wanted, but I thought Jack Nicholson as the Joker and Michael Gough as the reliable Alfred the Butler gave excellent performances, and the movie's great to look at, and the movie also could be very disturbing in a good way. So that's my review on the 1989 Batman movie, and if you've seen the movie, go ahead and place your comments about the film, or if you want to leave any feedback about the segment, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll be able to review Batman Returns very soon.